Hi, everyone. Welcome to channel. Today we are talking about the most dangerous animals that no longer exist, and humans never knew. Number 10. Dunkleosteus. The Dunkleosteus swam in the waterways of North America during the Devonian period. This massive bony fish was one of the first creatures to ever evolve jaws. It had a gigantic body with many legs and two enormous pincers. With those, it could crush the shells of turtles and the skulls of fish. Its fossils were found alongside those of other prehistoric beasts like mastodons and saber-toothed cats. Back then, the area was a swampy environment just like the Florida Everglades. They lived all across the continent and were about twice the size of today's saltwater crocodiles. If that's not scary enough, they were also twice as heavy as a polar bear. It was named for its most distinguishing feature, a spiral-shaped tooth or teeth. These were located on the front of its upper jaw, and we're not entirely sure what they were used for. It was huge, about as long as a blue whale, but unlike the gentle giant, it was an apex predator. Its jaws were filled with sharp teeth that could easily tear through flesh. It had a short face with powerful jaws and huge teeth. Scientists think it was an omnivore, meaning it ate both plants and meat. It could run on two legs, but it was too heavy to climb trees. There is only one known specimen of Andrewsarchus. This was found in the mountains of western China in 1937. At the time, it was the biggest mammal ever found. That is until scientists unearthed a new species of dinosaur in Patagonia that weighed over 1,000 kilograms. It had small flippers, a tiny dorsal fin, and a level of ferocity that would put a great white shark to shame. They lived between 40 and 50 million years ago in what is now the Middle East. Its wingspan was up to 12 meters, making it the largest creature to ever fly. For comparison, that's about as wide as a basketball court. It was a crocodile monster that lived in what is now Africa and Asia. They lived between 116 and 100 million years ago. During this time, the supercontinent of Gondwana split apart. This formed modern-day Africa and South America. So when Sarcosuchus roamed the earth, it walked on both continents. Its body was 15 meters long and weighed around 1,300 kilograms. And just like today's crocodiles, they were ambush predators. They waited patiently in the water for their prey to get close before snatching them up with their giant jaws. They had long snouts, pointed teeth and tongues for catching fish. In total, they weighed around 250 kilograms. It's unbelievable that something that heavy could ever fly. They were the largest land predators of the early Triassic. Their bodies were around 3 meters long and looked similar to that of a hyena. They had long, strong jaws and huge teeth. Because of their fierce appearance, they were given the name Gorgonops, which means terrible face. But the scariest part of them all, they hunted in packs. Imagine being chased through the jungle by a whole group of these animals. There's no way you would escape with your life. But unfortunately, we don't know much more about them than that. All we have are a few fossilized vertebrae and some teeth. Some scientists say they were for crushing prey, while others believe they were used for attracting mates. Either way, it was certainly an unusual creature. We don't even know exactly what it looked like since most of the time only its spiral teeth were found in the fossil record. The rest of its body would have resembled that of a shark, but how big? It could grow to be anywhere from 1 to 7 meters long. Scientists estimate that they grew to be 30 feet long. Just imagine seeing one of those things slithering towards you with its sharp claws and powerful jaws. You wouldn't stand a chance. Unfortunately, humans ended up wiping them out. It's believed that when Aboriginal Australians arrived, they hunted Megalania to extinction. But how big was Titanoboa? To put it into perspective, it was the size of a school bus. Its jaw-dropping length was 13 meters, and it weighed around 1,100 kilograms. It would have been able to swallow an entire human in one gulp. Paleontologists say that Titanoboa was the biggest snake that ever existed. It weighed almost as much as a Tyrannosaurus rex. It was so scary that if a Gecalopterus grabbed you with its pincers, there would be no way out. Its name translates to black scorpion. It had a dark body with a triangular head. These creatures lived 300 million years ago during the Carboniferous period, and they were found in what is now Belgium and Germany. They didn't have natural enemies and had no predators to keep their numbers in check. They ate pretty much everything in sight. But eventually, around 299 million years ago, something caused their mass extinction. Scientists aren't sure what this was. but it may have been the changing climate or maybe competition for food. It used these jaws to chomp down on anything that entered its mouth, which was huge, like the size of a car door. Its teeth were needle-like and perfect for catching and holding on to prey. They lived between 359 and 354 million years ago, and we only know about them because of fossils found in Ohio and Michigan. They could grow up to 6 meters long and weighed more than 1,000 kilograms. So it's not hard to believe that this fish was at the top of the food chain. Even though they lived millions of years ago, scientists think they may have behaved much like today's great white sharks. They probably hunted seals, turtles, and other large fish. Number 9. Geckolopterus. This creature is considered by some to be the biggest bug that ever existed, but it's actually more closely related to spiders and mites. Number 8. Titanoboa. This snake was discovered in 1998 in the Mexican state of Coahuila. It lived in what is now the supercontinent of Pangaea. Number 7. Megalania varanus priscus. Megalania was an ancient species of giant monitor lizard. It was an Australian animal that lived during the Pleistocene until the late Pleistocene epoch, between 40,000 and 400,000 years ago. Number 6. Helicoprion. Helicoprion was a weird shark-like creature that lived in the oceans between 300 and 200 million years ago. Number 5. Thalatorcarcon. Thalatorcarcon means the ruler of the sea. This was a whale monster that grew to be 15 meters long. Number 4. Andrewsarchus. Andrewsarchus was a mammal that roamed the earth about 45 million years ago. It was huge, weighing up to 350 kilograms. Number 3. Quetzalcoatlus. This flying reptile soared through the skies of South Texas around 70 million years ago. Number 2. Sarcosuchus. Sarcosuchus is called the super croc for a reason. Number 1. Gorgonops. Gorgonops lived in South Africa about 200 million years ago. Thanks for watching. Which of these creatures would you want to have as your pet? Let me know in the comments below. See you next time. Bye.